Did you know that the first animated film that used synchronized sound was a short cartoon called Steamboat Willie? As you can see, it's a very famous clip, and it was made by Walt Disney in 1928. Animation has come a long way because it has been almost 100 years since this animation has been made, and animation still continues to evolve to this day. Animation has had many impacts by many films, and there are three major films that I believe that have changed the animation industry. One of them is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. A second one is Toy Story, and the third one is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And I will say how they each changed or impacted the animation industry. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was made in 1937, and it was the first full-length film to be released by Disney, by Walt Disney himself. It won an award, which was the Academy Award for Best Original Score in 1939. It wasn't the first film made with sound or color, but it was the first one to win this title. And as you can see, here's Walt Disney being prized by Shirley Temple, who was also a very famous actor at the time. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs showed to others and proved that animation could be as successful as live action films and could have and bring enough emotional depth as similar to live action films, and also characteristics to the characters and to the storyline. Some of the methods that were used in this film were cell animation, which were when animators used transparent sheets and they would stack them on top of each other. And at the time when they still drew by hand on paper, they would draw and they would be able to see the frame beforehand, the present one, and the one that will come afterwards, in order to make it easier to see the sequences that will play out later on onto the films. And the second method that was used was rotoscoping, which is when a live actor would move around and be the reference model for the animators. CBR.com also claimed that Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs almost single-handedly created a trend, as well as influencing fantasy and musical films for the many years that were to come. The next film is Toy Story, and it brought CGI, also known as 3D animation, into it mixed it up with hand animation as well. At the time, since this movie was released in 1995, CGI was still something new that they did not work with, especially with hand animation, which was why Pixar spent many years learning and perfecting and building their own tools from scratch. So they started from the very beginning, and they managed to make Toy Story, which was a very good hit towards many. And some inspired films, some films that were inspired by Toy Story were Shrek, which was made by DreamWorks, and Finding Nemo. A website known as newsletters.oscars.org shares that the creator of Toy Story, which his name was John L., said that computers alone did not create Toy Story. A group of very talented people did, which he's giving credit to the people that spent years and years in order to make this film the masterpiece that it is to this day. And the third film I will be talking about is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which, as you can see, was a great hit in 2018 as well for the unique art style that it brought to the theaters. As you can see, it used 3D models and used hand lines, animations, and also motion smears. This film impacted the animation industry because it broke the rules of 3D animation, which were using 24 frames per second. This movie actually experimented and went beyond that. It used 12 frames per second, and as the movie went along and it matured with also the main character, Miles Morales, it became more, I won't say clean, but it became more standard to the rules that it had. And overall, the animation really did inspire many films that were to come. And some of those films were Puss in Boots, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and The Mitchells vs. the Machines. I believe that these three films have inspired and impacted the animation industry for many reasons, because Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs managed to make animation seem as successful, and actually proved that it was as successful as live action films. Toy Story, because it brought a new beginning towards 3D animation. Although it wasn't the first film, it was the first one to win this title in theaters, and the third one was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse because it broke the rules and went beyond that, which inspired many other creators. Animation didn't evolve by accident, but from the efforts from workers. Art is a way to express ideas and emotions. It should not be limited with borders or rules. It is unique and everyone should be creative, never boring. People who make these films change the animation in my eyes.